let me just start off by saying that the thumbnail and the title are not at all clickbait. This is certainly something that has happened to me. It's a true story. I wasn't going to make this video because I didn't want to encourage the parties involved to continue this behavior. But after seeing that this has actually happened to other YouTubers that sell on eBay, such as Kevin, Commonwealth Picker, and Wick from Flipping Junk, well, they recently have experienced the same thing that I have. And instead of sitting on it like I was going to and just keeping my mouth shut, I decided that it was best to make a video. And also, I can tell you that this is dropping at 6 a.m. Monday morning Eastern Time, 9 a.m. Pacific. But also, Kevin has also made a video, and we've agreed to drop our videos at the same time and reference each other's videos so that you can jump over and see what he went through, as you probably have jumped over to see what I'm going through or what I went through. Now, let me just start. I sold an item, and I was selling back in the summer of last year. I was selling these vinyl football display cases for your football. And I had a real cheap one that didn't have the acrylic cover. It just had the base to put the football on. And it was like $15 free shipping. So someone with zero feedback, and you know, it's hard to tell these days when you're dealing with buyers with zero feedback. They could be coming off of Google, could be someone that just made the account, or it could be a guest account that's trying to buy your item for the first time. So I didn't think anything of it. So I sold the item, I shipped it out, and within 2 days, I received a return request. And this return request was in a foreign language. And I will show you the screen here so that you can see what I'm talking about. I had to decipher this message, and it was just a crazy message, okay? And it didn't make a bit of sense to me as to A, why they were opening up a return request before they even received the item, and B, why they had to, I believe they put it in like Polish or whatever. So it was weird, but I went ahead and accepted the return. And of course, it was an INAD, an item not as described, that they opened against me. So I was on the hook for the $4 or $5 return label. And it was a Ground Advantage return label. So fast forward, I would say about a week, and I get a package at my door. It's a return. And so I know that I have that item coming back, but this box is like 5 pounds. It's when you can see here, it's a lot bigger than the small, like 12 by 8 manila, not in a manila, but a poly mailer that I sent to the buyer. So I knew something was up. Something was not right. And so, not knowing what it was, I decided to have Jenna come with me. We went out into the driveway. Happened to be, we had our cans out for pickup, our trash cans out for pickup. And so I put this box out on the trash can, and we recorded me opening the box. And this is what was inside.
Take a look at this. This is what they sent me back. Wow, guys. Why? What the hell is that? It's like a case. They sent me back more than this thing is. I mean, this is trash, but seriously? Like, why?
Dump it out.
No, I am. They're old chonies? Mm-hmm. Seriously? So, what? I'm relieved that it's not a bomb. I mean, but what am I supposed to think? This is ridiculous, guys.
So what do you guys think? It's a lot of just trash and just, it's wrong, guys. So at that time, of course, I knew I wasn't going to be able to get anywhere with eBay. So I just simply went in and adjusted it by 50%. It wasn't worth my time to call eBay. We're talking like $15. I just simply went in and did a 50% refund to the buyer, and along with pictures of the box and an explanation that this buyer scammed me. I thought that was the end of it, right? We closed it. About an hour later, here's a message saying that eBay made them whole, right? And some crazy message saying that how I made a mistake and I shouldn't be allowed to sell on the platform or something like that. So then a week later, maybe 2 weeks later passes, and we receive another package in the mail. And it happened to be on a Friday. I believe it was on a Friday when we were doing our live stream. And we ended up opening the package on the live stream. They sent me another box.
Shake it.
Oh boy, it sounds like something's rolling in there. Do we dare?
No, not in my house.
Okay, you want to talk to them? I'll go open it. Or do you want me to? I'm just going to open it. I'll throw it out. Maybe it's something that'll jump out. You know.
Do it over there.
Okay, scoot back. Sorry, guys. I'm sure this is making for compelling television. I'm sure, but oh, and then there's in that situation. Oh, this is nice. What is this? I don't even want. You guys, I don't know.
No.
I don't know what's in there. What is that?
Wow.
What is that?
Oh.
Hold on. Oh God, that smells. Look what they sent. It's like crap or something.
Go get it out of the house.
I am. Oh.
This MFer is going to get caught. I can't say what I want to say on here because it would be a little too foul. I have a lot more respect for you guys than that. I am beyond pissed off. And people like this that want to play games and mess with people like this, karma is going to get you, and it's going to get you bad. And let me tell you, it's coming. I can't even tell you how angry I am right now. And it smells in here now. So thank you very much. Thankfully, I have something to spray in here as soon as he comes back. That way you're not looking at a blank screen. You're stupid.
Pretty good, actually.
You smell it?
When I got it in the sun, it looked like old meatballs. Disgusting. So, yeah, that's...
Welcome to our lives. Don't you guys want to have a YouTube channel?
So, I'm like, okay, this is just crazy. We received another couple packages. One was in a UPS type of baggie, like a UPS Express bag. They slapped the Ground Advantage label. Now, keep in mind, they're using the same Ground Advantage label on these packages that they're sending us. So the same label that I sent them that they used for that 5-pound box when it was only really like a 12-ounce label, well, they're using it for all these packages. So as you can see here, there's a UPS package, UPS Express, that was leaking, and we threw that away. We didn't even try to open that. There was another one that came in a box that looked like it was leaking through, and we threw that away. Now, fast forward, I'd say another couple months down the road, we receive another return using the same label, and it was, guess what, guys? A spare tire. One of those donut tires you keep in your trunk. And here it is right here. And you can see the label that they just taped to the tire. The same label they've been using this whole time. And this time we received the return on a Friday when our mail carrier came to the door while we're doing our live, and we showed everyone on the live stream the tire that we received from this buyer. So it turns out that this buyer or group of buyers who's playing this game with me, or at least think it's funny, were viewers of the channel, were or are viewers of the channel, and they attend Northern Illinois University. And they are within a fraternity based on the address that's on the package. They are part of a fraternity that calls themselves the Skulls. And this particular fraternity, and I won't give the actual name of the fraternity any more than I just did, they're behind the situation with me sending these packages, and also the situation with Wick and Kevin as well. And I know this because I confirmed that they are out of Dekalb, Illinois, and the addresses are very similar. I think Kevin had a package that was like 920 in the street address, and mine's 928, same street address. When you do a Google Maps, it shows that street has a bunch of fraternities and sorority houses lining the street. Kevin's came from a different address within the same street, and so it leads me to believe that there's multiple sorority or fraternity brothers that are playing jokes that think this is a funny game when it's really, really not. And it got to the point where we were refusing these packages, and we actually received a letter from the U.S. Postal Service apologizing to us that they could not deliver our package because it was just a leaky mess, and it was undeliverable. And they offered their apologies, and I'm like, wow, this shouldn't be allowed to happen. Number one, why is USPS allowing anyone using the same label without catching it? Number two, we contacted USPS, the Postmaster General. We filed a fraud complaint, and we were hopeful that at least they put a stop to allowing that package to be delivered. Now, we haven't, knock on wood, we have not received any further packages with that label. And it may be because the transaction is just so old that person can't download the label anymore. Let's just hope that's the case. Now, I've begun to start looking at where these zero feedback buyers that I get are coming from. And if they're coming from DeKalb, Illinois, I'll just go in and cancel the sale due to problem with an address. But I haven't had that yet. And again, I wasn't going to talk about this situation until I saw what happened with Kevin and Wick. Now, you guys remember that tire that I received from these scammers? Well, guess what? I took that perfectly good Goodyear spare tire. I put it up on my eBay store, and I ended up taking an offer for it for 40, I think it was like $40 plus shipping. And I can tell you that, while it doesn't make sense that this person's watching a reselling channel and they're sending me a perfectly good tire that I can flip, well, guess what? The reseller and me took over, I flipped it, and I made $40. Now, I have an update to that. Just received a return request from the buyer, and they bought it for their HHR Chevy, and it doesn't fit. And they put doesn't fit, so it's going to come back to me more than likely. They're going to have to buy the return label, but maybe they won't return it because of the fact that it's going to cost them most of the price of the tire, and I'm not giving them the original shipping back because I don't refund the original shipping on calculated items. So yeah, that's what's happening. At least, I made money off of a scammer. Not many people can say that. And I just got to say, guys, that my situation's just crazy, but it gets crazier when you go to Wick's channel, Flippin' Junk, and watch him open the box. He ended up getting the jack for the spare tire that I received, and he ended up receiving a pair of underwear, and it was just a hot mess. Now, I don't know if he received anything more than that. And I know that Kevin received an envelope of some sort, looked like a priority bubble mailer that he hasn't even opened up yet, that I know of. So curious to see what that's going to be, but I'm sure because it's a leaky mess, it's not going to be pretty. And, I'm going to say this, that we're going to pursue everything that we can. I've been talking with Kevin, and I had a brief conversation on Instagram with Wick, but at least I know that Kevin wants to file a complaint with the university. And also, I have advised him to do what I did with the U.S. Postal Service, because this is mail fraud, guys. Anytime you deal with scammers like this who are playing games, just a bunch of, college kids, instead of focusing on their education, they want to focus on harassing people who are just trying to make a living. And so that's why I decided to create the thumbnail that says it's the wall of shame, because shame on them for doing something like that. And I guess you can write it off. Hey, we were all young once, young kids doing crazy things. But, it doesn't mean that it's right. It doesn't mean that it's right. And it doesn't mean that I should accept it or make, just let it go. If there's a way to deal with this more than we have, I'd love to know your thoughts down below. Please comment down below if you've had experience with this. How did you resolve your situation with a scammer or someone who, this is harassment. When you're sending multiple packages over and over and over again. And initially, you guys saw that video that I showed you. I was initially afraid that maybe it would be some kind of a bomb or something. You see these stories every so often, the last 20, 30 years, where someone opens a package and there's anthrax inside, or just something nefarious happens. And I didn't want to be that guy, but at the same time, I still opened the package very carefully. And, I found out that these are just a bunch of kids. But that's my story, guys. Not much more to report since then, since, we sold the tire. It's coming back. And if it comes back, we're going to probably sell it again, because there's nothing wrong with the tire. Just so happens that the person who bought the tire, I guess, just couldn't figure out, even with the measurements that I put in the listing between the lugs, they couldn't figure it out as far as if it could work for their tire. I think it's more of like a Honda Civic or a Honda Accord type spare tire. But, who am I? I'm not a mechanic. I can barely do eBay right. So that's my story, guys. And I just want you guys to be aware, whenever you get someone from Dekalb, Illinois, that has zero feedback, take a closer look, guys. If it's Hillcrest Drive, well, you may want to cancel that transaction. And, oh, by the way, I contacted eBay around Thanksgiving, okay, to let them know. And I spoke to someone in Trust and Safety, and they told me, they saw the messages, they saw, everything, the back and forth, the crazy, return requests and everything that they've done. And they told me that they cannot shut down all the accounts at this IP because there's other good standing accounts that weren't involved with this, and they didn't want to affect them. And so they were in a very, very tough situation, and they weren't able to really do anything but look into, of course, they won't tell you as a seller what they do with these accounts, but this particular buyer shortly thereafter was shut down. So they're not a registered user anymore, and they just make new accounts, or they go in and they use the guest account, which gives them a generic thing. And what can you do? It's no more than someone who goes into a brick and mortar and shoplifts or vandalizes. You report when you can, to whom you can, but the business must go on. And that's why I wasn't going to make a big deal out of this. But since other YouTubers are involved with the same party and they are reporting what they've dealt with, I thought it was a good idea to at least report to you so you guys can see what I've been dealing with. So go over to Kevin Commonwealth Picker's channel, and he is dropping, like I said, dropping a video this morning with the same topic, same group of people. And then if you want to check out Wick Flippin' Junk, check out his video from about a month ago where he goes in and opens the same kind of box that I did from these same people. So guys, scammers, they're going to happen. It's going to be even more rare when you make money off of these scammers. But yet it's just another example of how flipping ain't easy. And have a great rest of your week. And we will talk to you guys very soon.